Welcome to Mike Golden Games and welcome back to another Jeep vlog. This episode we're going to be working on the Jeep floor pans. So if we come over here, what we're going to be using is the Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. This is basically the primer that was actually for this Jeep. So yesterday I went and scuffed this down, and as you can see there's a little more surface rust. So I'm going to have to polish that off before we can do some painting. But let's go check the other side. We're also going to be using Herculiner as the top coat, which one of my friends decided to go with that, so we'll see how it works. And here's the other side. Looking pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, I felt it feels a little tacky still. It is super humid out today. It's been raining overnight. So I did have the windows open a crack just so the Jeep could air out. Well, let's get the seat pulled forward there. And as you can see in the back, I still have a bunch of junk in here. I need to clean it out a little bit. But here's the back floor pans. And we have the floor pan plug here. It's popped out so we could clean that surface area up and make sure it doesn't all rust out. Basically, if you flood your Jeep, you pop that little plug out and all the water drains out. And at least that's what it's supposed to do. But it looks pretty good. I got a little overspray on these that can be scuffed off, no problem. I had some rust forming right down in here by the welds, and as you can see, yeah, there's a hole here. But if you see inside, it's a little hard to see. Let's get the light on. And I tried a few months ago to look at it, and it didn't seem like it was going through anywhere. So I think what's going on is it's in the fender well, and water is starting to leak through there. We look. So basically I tried to pop off the fender flare. This was not the issue. It's somewhere back here further that it's letting the water in. So I'm gonna get some foam and basically fill that in and plug it up. So that should stop the leaking. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think of it. It looks freaking awesome so far. So it seems like it's working pretty good. What we're gonna do now is scuff up that little bit of rust. And it's just surface rust. Must have formed overnight because it is so humid out. But we're gonna scuff that up with, I believe it's 40 grit sandpaper. I mean, you could use Scotch-Brite, but this is what I had on hand, and I figured it would work just as fine. So we've got a jug of water. Let's just pour a little bit of water on there. Not too much needed. And then we're gonna take the sandpaper and just scuff it up. Try and get the surface rust off. And that should be pretty decent. Got it scuffed up pretty good. We're gonna get some more water on here. Just pour all that water in there just like that. Look at that. And just fill that up. There we go. And now let's just kind of brush all the metal dust over, get all the junk out so we have a clean paintable surface. And then we'll let this dry out for maybe a half hour. I'll get some paper towels and whatnot to dry it up a little quicker. But we do want to make sure this metal surface is fully dry before we begin to do the painting. And if we look under here, there's the drain hole right there. So I decided to need a little more sanding. As you can see, there's still some rust on here. So that's coming along pretty good. And then I wanted to make sure I got this scuffed up too, because it wasn't actually as much as I thought I did. So I'm scuffing it up a little bit more, and then we're going to wash it out one more time and then let it dry. But this should be good enough to scuff it up. Just enough so the paint will stick. And then we want to make sure we get inside here as well, just so it's all scuffed up. About 45 minutes now with the heat on. I've been checking it periodically just to make sure it's not overheating. Everything looks good. And oh, it's so nice and hot in here. The heat's blowing right out here, drying the floor pans. So everything should be good to spray down, so let's get right on into it. Like I said, we're going to be using the Rust-Oleum, rusty metal primer. The primer color is about the same color as the primer that was on this Jeep, so the silver. What I might do later after the Herculiner dries is repaint over it with the actual silver Jeep color. We'll see, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should I paint over the Herculiner with the original paint job? I believe it's called bright silver. It's a Chrysler color. So let's get the Jeep turned off. Turn the heat off. There we go. Now let's shake up this can of paint. It's nice and warm now. It was about 90 degrees yesterday. Today it's 75. It's been raining overnight, so the floor pan should be all nice and heated up. And then you want to back away so you don't breathe it in, or wear a respirator. So let's just get...
I think the dust is blowing out the other side.
Yeah, so the nice thing about doing the driver's side where I'm at is the passenger door is open, so the wind is actually blowing through the Jeep this way, where yesterday I was standing on that side, it was blowing right at me. Probably could have turned the Jeep around, whatever. It's good for me now. All right, so let's get over here. And yes, I'm painting right over the other floor pan drain holes, which are right here. This one and that one, and that one. But I'm not gonna worry about those now. If I need to, I can always pop them off later. So let's just continue painting. Now let's get up by the seat. Now that I got the whole thing covered, I'm gonna go back over the same spot, so another coat in the same order that I did, just because it's kind of, you know, a little drier here, a lot more wet here. You can see the glossiness to it. So like I said, I'm going to do another coat over here, work my way back around, and basically just do 2 coats. Just switched over to the second can, and I finished off the second coat for this, and everything's looking pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And now I got to let this thing dry out for, I think yesterday I let it dry out for maybe 2 hours. And then I switched over to the Herculiner. It's been about an hour and a half, and it looks like it's pretty good. You can kind of feel it. It seems pretty dry. It says on the can 1 to 2 hours to dry to handle. I just finished spraying the first coat and it's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna let it dry for about a half hour and then I'm gonna do another second coat on this. But so far it's looking pretty decent. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I do hope you guys are enjoying this video. It's now the next day and I've let the Jeep sit overnight. The floor pans still seem pretty tacky. I did fill in that one hole on the passenger side with the foam I was talking about. Let's go check that out really quick. All right, so let's get inside here and look at that. Yeah, it expanded a lot more than I thought it would, but no big deal. I just got to use my pocket knife and cut this thing out. But basically, just stuck the can inside here, sprayed it up, and it really expanded. Before, just after I finished spraying it, it was like maybe to right here with the foam. Overnight, it expanded to this. This thing is massive. I'm gonna be using my knife to cut it out. So I'm standing on the other side, and my dad's gonna do the cutting so I can film it. Just like that.
That's it for now.
All right. So what I'm doing now to get the floor pans to hopefully dry quicker is I have the heat on with the doors closed, windows cracked open a little bit, and the back door wide open, so there's no airflow going through the whole Jeep. So hopefully that'll help speed up the drying process. It says it should be fully cured within 24 hours, but yeah, it's still pretty tacky. And the passenger side has been curing for like 48 hours now, and it's still pretty tacky, so we'll see how long it takes to dry. All right, let's do one walk around before we end this video, which I hope you guys are enjoying so far. So this is the driver's side, and we got a pretty even coat over everything. I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But everything seems to be coated pretty nicely. Now I didn't, do the entire interior just because I wanted to get basically the stuff that actually gets wet. During the winter time, this area always gets trashed. So hopefully this will help protect it. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to cure because it's still pretty tacky feeling. So let's go around to the passenger side now and see how that is. Again, I got everything open to try to get the most airflow through it. If I wanted, I guess I could get some fans put in here to try to run some more air through it. But here is the passenger side. A little better visibility because the sun was on the other side, so it's kind of giving a glare. But I think everything looks pretty decent. Got a little overspray there, not bad. I'm planning on painting over the Herculiner with the factory silver paint. Let me know what you guys think. You think I should do that or just leave it black Herculiner? But everything looks good. Let's get on this side. And I think everything does look good. And then in the back seat as well. And I do need to put the floor pan plug holes back in once it dries. I don't want to do that until they're dry. But everything looks good. And then there was a small rust spot right over in here. I think I got that covered pretty good. And like I said before, there was some rust right up in here, but that's looking pretty good. And then here's the hole. Looks like I'm gonna need to get a little more foam because I can get my finger in this crevice, so I need to patch that in a little more. But that's about it. Okay guys, so I'm gonna leave this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Maybe consider subscribing if you haven't already. And be sure you hit that little bell icon on the channel. That way you stay notified when the videos do go up. All right guys, take it easy.